everyone. When Judge Sonia Sotomayor appears before the Senate Judiciary Committee tomorrow, you can bet she's going to be ready for anything. We continue our coverage of the confirmation hearing with Doug Kendall, the founder and president of the Constitutional Accountability Center. Doug, thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk a little bit first about the prep that goes on, because I've talked with a couple folks who shepherded other justices through this process, the murder boards that go on, the grilling. I mean, she hasn't been able to answer her critics publicly yet, but she's certainly been on the hot seat, at least in these mock sessions so far. What's the purpose and how does that work?
Well, tomorrow, for the first time, Judge Sotomayor will be able to present herself to the American people and explain her approach to judging, explain her qualifications, her judicial record. And so it's an incredibly important moment for her. I think it defines who she is and how Americans think about Judge Sotomayor. So, of course, you're going to want to make sure that that moment, which, you know, we've been hearing a lot from her critics over the last month and a half, I think it's her moment to explain why she is overwhelmingly qualified to sit on the Supreme Court.
And so many of the senators that she's done her courtesy calls with say when she gets into that format, it's going to be great for her, that she's warm, she's engaging, she's very smart, that she's going to do well in this setting. Is that what you would predict? Do you think there are any, possible trip-up situations coming for her?
Well, she's certainly been through this before. She's been confirmed to the district court slot. She was a Bush appointee to the district court. She's been confirmed to the appeals court slot. So she's been through the confirmation process twice before. She knows basically what to expect. Obviously, the stakes are much higher here. The cameras are brighter. But I think she has unimpeachable qualifications to sit on the Supreme Court. She's been a trial court judge, an appellate court judge, a corporate lawyer, a prosecutor. So she has been through the process before. She has a great story to tell and great qualifications for a position. I think she'll do fine.
Beyond the things that look good on paper, which you mentioned, she does have a long record, and people would, of course, agree that academically she's very qualified. She is a brilliant individual, but there are these issues about empathy and about her personal viewpoints and what she'll take to the bench. How much of a beating do you think she's going to take on those issues, or do you think she's just going to let it fall off her back?
Well, I think that what speaks for itself is her judicial record. And I think if everyone who has looked through the 4,000 or so opinions she's decided, sees her as a fair and careful judge who applies the law to the facts of the case and rules in a neutral manner. And I think her critics are focusing on a few snippets in a speech here and there and a few rulings that are easily explainable as her following the law. And I think once she gets the chance to defend her record, she's going to do just fine.
And assuming she makes it through the committee, what do you think the final floor vote may be, if you want to give a guesstimate on where it's going to go with those 100 senators?
Well, I think that once she gets through presenting her case, every fair-minded senator who goes into this looking to see whether she should be confirmed to the Supreme Court will end up deciding that she has pretty overwhelming qualifications for it. And I expect the vote will be fairly lopsided.
Okay. Doug Kendall, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me this morning.
Well, Chris Wallace.